Hello, guys, and welcome to Yorkville. This is Toronto Brad, aka the T. O. They also call me the Granny Chaser. This is your single man travel to Asia channel, and I do podcasts as well, so you guys know that. And today I'm just doing my vlog in Yorkville, so this is kind of like an upscale kind of shopping district that they have here in Toronto. And I've done a few live streams, I've done a few vlogs out here. So you guys that follow my channel, you guys already know that I do that out here. And today, I'm just out here, I'm testing my new gimbal. So that's why I'm just holding my camera like this, because I'm just testing a new gimbal that I got, the gimbal holder, and I'm testing a new camera that I got as well. So just bear with me if there's any issues with the video quality or anything like that. So just bear with me one moment while I get through this with with all this stuff with this new equipment. Anyway, so today I just wanted to talk about something. So this is me, I'm Toronto Brad. Today I just wanted to talk about something that happened to me about 4 years ago. I think that was 4 years ago. That was back during the I think that was during the pandemic, where everything was shut down and stuff like that. I want to talk about that. And the reason I want to tell you this is that I don't want you guys to make the same mistake that I made, when I was, doing my single man travel to Asia, adventures. I want you guys to play it safe, and I want you guys to not, get wasted on your cash flow and all that when you guys travel out to Asia. So getting back to my story, in the pandemic, at that time everything was shut down, and so you couldn't do much anything. And I know for sure you definitely couldn't travel. And it was during this time that I was spending a lot of time at home, and I wasn't doing much anything. And I actually ended up, at that time, I was doing just a lot of stuff online. I would be online doing my thing, and just by being online, I was bored, so I was bored. So I'd go on like Instagram, and I'd be on there, and I would chat up on Instagram with the quote unquote, I don't know if you guys ever heard of that term. It's called they call it an influencer. I was chatting online with these guys, and that's how I met these girls out there in the Philippines. And they were influencers. They had these nice bodies and everything like that. And I kind of found one like that, and she was all stacked and everything. And that's when I started chatting her up online and just getting like little conversations. So that's basically how I got entangled initially in the whole influencer Instagram model kind of deal that you had online back in that time. So so basically after that, I started messaging with this girl that I messaged. She replied to my message, and she was really a hot girl. You guys know my channel. You guys may have seen some of the videos that I did, and you'll see this girl is no joke, man. She's like fine. She got a nice body. You would fly if you saw the body that this girl had. You would fly out to the Philippines, man. So that's basically how I ended up going to the Philippines, and this girl was hot like that. So basically, yeah, we started chatting online, we started messaging. Eventually, we started doing the video calling, and then the video calling became more and more immersive, And remember, at this time, like when the pandemic began. So when the pandemic began, remember this, that I was just coming back from Singapore and Thailand. So I just got back in Canada from Singapore, from Thailand, and I was bored, man. I wanted to travel. My plan was I was going to head back out to Cambodia, and I was going to do my thing out there, but unfortunately, because the pandemic happened at that time, I was not able to do any traveling, and I was kind of stuck here in Canada, and that's how I was chatting with this girl online. So that's basically what happened there, and so I just want you guys to know my story. Like I said, you guys are not going to go through a similar circumstance like me, because this happened to me at the time during the pandemic. So that's the reason why a lot of this happened to me, right? So like I said, don't want it to happen to you guys, so make sure that you heeding my advice. Anyway, let me cross the light here. I don't want to get caught on this side of the light. I'm going to be real tactful here. I'm going to cross over, try not to get hit by any cars, make sure the kids don't get hit by any cars, and I'll go into like Cumberland, and what I'll do is I'll continue my story down there in the heart of Yorkville. So you guys are coming with me. You guys are chilling in Yorkville with the T-Dog, man. So anyways, yeah, so I was chatting with this girl and we were video calling, and then, because she's in the Philippines during the pandemic, right, at this time, the issue for her was that she wasn't able to make any money as well. She's like, man, her cash flow has already come down, so that was a bit of an issue for her. So that caused her a bit of an issue, and at that time she was like, okay, I was like, okay, let me, I will help you out. So I told her, okay, I'll help you out. I said to her, I will give her like 40,000 pesos a month. And I don't know the translation, but maybe about 800 to 1,000 Canadian. I'm not sure, kind of in that range there. I gave that to her every month. And remember, pandemic, this was 2 years, right? Because everything was shut down for 2 years. So it was a good while. I was hooking her up. I don't know if it was right at the beginning of 2020. It might have been halfway through. It wasn't the full year 2020, but 21 for sure was the full year. And then 22, in February of 2022, I actually went out to the Philippines. Because, she have kids and all this and that, and she have a sob story, everybody does, so I was helping her out. And at the end, as we were closing in on the end of the pandemic time, I was like, the pandemic restrictions were beginning to get loosened up. So as the pandemic started to loosen up, there were some countries where the travel was easier. So what we found was we could go to Dubai. So we said, okay, why don't we go to Dubai? We could meet up in Dubai. Dubai doesn't have like the travel restrictions at that time. So I said, okay, we'll go to Dubai. And what I did at that time, because she's in the Philippines, I said, okay, what I'll do, I'll give you 80,000 pesos, all right? And then that way you got all the money for your expenses at home, and you can buy your tickets, and then we could get everything set up, buy the airline tickets. I had to buy my airline ticket. She could buy her airline ticket, and I was hopeful that everything would kind of work out, by us going to Dubai. So she went to, she got the money. I sent all the money to her. I transferred, I wired all the money. I think the 80,000 was like about a 2,000. I did like that as a bank kind of a transfer. And with that money that she had, she would be able to buy her ticket. She would be able to take care of her kids, all that, while she was gone in Dubai. That was the plan, at least. But like I said, it did not quite work out exactly like I had expected it to work out, because what happened is when she was in Manila, she did catch COVID. And so everything that we had planned, all the money, all of that went down the drain. So that's what I was saying. This was like not a cheap little adventure here. This was already costing me some, not major money, but a little bit of money. I would say that it's still like a lot of money, but obviously that trip to Dubai was the big expectation. Anyways, so that whole plan went down the tube. The money went down the tube, and then about a month later, we got news that about a month and a half later, I got the news that the Philippines had opened up to tourism. So you were able to fly out to the Philippines. At that time, you could fly out there, and that I was like, shit, I'll go out to the Philippines. I'll have a good time, and that was the plan. So I had to buy the ticket, but at this time now the flight cost was expensive, because now the pandemic was ending. There were barely any flights. So I think I paid close to $4,000 for my flight, out to the Philippines. And then I had to pay for my hotels. And of course in Boracay, you guys know how the hotels are. I think I stay at Alta Brisa. I think I stay at Tides. That alone cost me about $2,000. So we out here in Yorkville, guys. This is a fancy area, boys. You guys never been out here. Hey, how you guys doing? There you guys go there. So anyways, yeah. So yeah, man, it's expensive. The hotels in Boracay not cheap, So I got my hotels, and then obviously you need spending money. So I think I paid for the hotels. I paid roughly $2,500. I think the spending cash, I spent about $4,000, and then the flight cost was $4,000. So you can see, you know, this was not, it was not a like a cheap type of endeavor. It did cost me a bit of money, but you know, like I said, it's an experience, and you guys can learn from my experience. You know, you guys can be like, yeah, we learned something there, and you know, you won't go down the same road that you went down. You know, so hopefully, like I said, that you know, it's something that you guys can learn from. You know, and you guys be like, shit, guy T.O. We got to give you one, man. So my thing is, my advice to you now that the pandemic is over and that era of travel is over, you don't have to worry about that. But my main advice to you guys would be always keep your cash tight. Like, don't be too free flowing with the money. Keep the money very, very tight, you know. Look at that. I think that's a Ferrari. Is that a Ferrari over there? I told you guys that yeah, Yorkville, I think there's more like an upscale kind of shopping kind of district, you know. So you seeing all the fancy cars. You guys like Ferrari? I'll show you guys right here. You guys can see a little Ferrari right there. Nice little Ferrari, boy. They got that shit going down, boy. There you go, man. Fancy Ferrari. This is Yorkville, guys. This kind of area where they have more fancy cars and all that kind of stuff. If you guys into fancy cars and shopping and all this kind of stuff, you guys like that, then Yorkville is the area for you. But anyways, guys, that was my little story there. I just gave you guys a breakdown of what happened to me when I was traveling, you know. And so you guys don't make the same mistakes as the T.O. Don't be like the T.O. You know, don't fly all over the world, you know, and get yourself in all kind of monkey business overseas, you know. And always keep your money tight, you know. Don't free flow with your money. You got to keep the money tight, you know. And don't be spending on these girls and shit like that. You keep your money in your pocket. I'm giving you real advice here when you guys fly out, you know. I'm giving you real man-to-man advice on single man travel to Asia. You guys can see, man, there's a lineup of cars out here. You look at that. I'm giving you guys the real deal single man travel to Asia advice, you know, so that you guys, when you guys fly out to Philippines or Thailand or any of those countries, you know, you guys keep your money in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give you guys some good advice here, man. But you guys enjoying Yorkville? Anyways, I think that's enough for this vlog, guys. I thank you guys. Bear with me. Like I said, I did have some gimbal issues. I told you I might have some gimbal issues as I try to figure everything out with the new camera and the gimbals. I have two gimbals, the holder, and I have the camera itself and the gimbal. Like, it's crazy. It's a lot. It's a big contraption. I'm trying it for the first time. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is the T.O. They called me Toronto Brad. They call me the Granny Chaser. And I do single man travel to Asia. I do podcast on Thailand. So if you guys are interested in this kind of discussion, then yeah, man, sure. You can follow along on my channel. You can join the live streams that we do. And I hope you guys enjoy. But thank you guys for tuning in. You guys take care. Toronto Brad out, man.